I just wanted to thank you, Jaydon. You know, we've been friends for. Actually, we've been friends for a decade at this point.
Literally.
That's actually insane thinking about it now. I mean, you see me at my worst. You see me at my best. You see me at my mid.
Where would you say you at right now?
I'm like at an 8 out of 10, I'd say.
Bullshit. You 10 out of 10. See what I'm talking about? You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe,
real
bro.
Recognize real, though.
Yo,
real recognize real.
Like, you my goal. Like, what you mean? Like, but no.
Take some. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright.
Are you good?
Right.
Are you having a stroke? Are you singing or having a stroke? Should I call somebody? Okay, I'm calling somebody. Wait, where's my phone?
Alright. Everything will be alright. Alright.
That was super.
Superb.
Welcome. Welcome to the Brodent Royale podcast.
What?
Episode
Welcome back.
45. We're back. We're back.
What?
But Jaydon's half back.
Jaydon's got connectivity issues, but it's okay.
What?
If you haven't seen us before, we are three guys, three longtime friends who like talking about nerd stuff, whether it's comics, TV, pop culture in general, I'd say.
Yeah.
And we just like to share our thoughts.
And we like to have fun.
You guys know me.
Most importantly.
Yep. I'm
you guys
Braulio.
may not recognize my face, but you know me.
Yeah, if you've seen him on TikTok.
That's not even what I was talking
10K
about.
followers.
This is spiritual. We know each other. It's okay. If you're watching this, deep down in your heart, I want you to know we know each other. But in this lifetime, they call me Jay. Nice to meet
you. In this lifetime, they refer to me as Ganesh. My middle name's Ryan, but nobody calls me that anymore.
My name is Braulio, and some people do call me by my middle name. Some don't. You won't.
Junior!
No!
Oh, Cut that out. Bleep that out.
Nah, it's cool.
My fault.
How are you guys? How's everything? I know we've had sort of a break, but...
We did have a little bit of a break.
Needed.
Many things have happened and transpired.
A lot. I'll let you take over first, Jaydon.
My great-grandmother's still with us, and she's 90.
Hey!
W in the chat. W in the chat. W grandma.
Yo. Reaching that
My
age.
actual grandma. She's seen better days, but we're working on it. It's cool.
I don't even know if we can hear that.
No, I heard it.
No, I meant in the recording. I think in some recording you probably will.
Yeah.
So I went to Florida to go celebrate, and that got overly drunk. Overly.
What was the drink of choice?
Name a drink. I was drinking it. Rum, vodka, tequila, whiskey. I was just in there. I was in there like swimwear, you know. Some of the times I wasn't in there like swimwear. I was just laying on the floor, but it's okay. But other than that, I've just been, you know, chilling, trying to actually relax for once. But, you know, life doesn't tend to let me do that. So I'm just handling logistical things with school. Other than that, I'm chilling.
How about you, Ganesh?
That's good. Oh, man.
He just started a bomb. Y'all ain't hear that beep?
Oh, that was a beep.
Yeah, I heard that.
I guess.
That caught me so
you got a dead man timer?
A dead man timer is crazy. I quit my job.
Yeah! Whoa!
I'm free. I am free. I think it's very important for everybody to realize their own limits. We are all human. I think it's very important for us to realize and recognize when too much is too much. And frankly, I feel like for me personally, my last job was a little too much at that point in my life. Right now, I've just been job searching, but in the meantime, I did go to Brooklyn about a week ago. Brooklyn.
Nixon
And
5. Oh, sorry. Let me calm down.
and I actually picked up this watch at a watch show.
He's
This
telling
watch
y'all
is
he
actually
got money. Look at the phones. He said, "I'm not broke."
I got ice on my wrist. This is actually a calculator watch that was featured in Breaking Bad. So this is the Walter White watch, and it's actually got a working calculator on it.
Guys,
so,
he's making
wait, it's a replica or is like the actual thing?
Well, I mean, it's not the actual one that Walter White wore on his wrist, but it's like the same model.
That's awesome. That's
He about to
actually
make meth.
so cool.
It was actually it was featured in Back to the Future too. So Marty McFly also wore that
You
watch.
going back in time to make meth?
But yeah, no, that's what's been going on with me. A lot of stuff going on, but just to sum it up, that's kind of two main things that have happened, I guess. Braulio, how have you been?
Wait, before you do that, I'm glad you free twin, but you said we human, we got limits. Who got limits? I don't got no limits. Don't put that on me.
All right,
Boy,
Just who in the hell do you think I am? Hey,
boy,
Jaydon, no
you
limits,
shut up
McCoy.
over there. I ain't got no
boy.
limits. You better watch yourself. You better watch yourself.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. I ain't got. Who you saying boy to? I ain't got no
limits, bro. You might as well get no limits tattooed on your neck.
Boy,
But
if
tattoo
you heard
on
this
my
guy,
forehead.
if you heard this guy off camera saying, "Listen, we need to I'm gonna force you to take a break because we all need breaks," That's
not about limits.
That is literally about limits. What are you
That's
talking
not about
about?
limits. That's about life enjoyment. See, this is how I know you're not tapped in mentally. You're not tapped in here. You're not tapped in here.
It's not clocking to you.
It's not clocking to you. You don't know about standing on business. Stand on the business. I'm playing. Okay. How are you doing?
Bro, that's how you know we've been on too long of a break. We're using outdated references out here.
For real?
I know. It's terrible. But how you doing, bro?
No kidding. I've been good, but I've been supremely busy as always. Busier with more stuff. I'm trying to think of things that I've done. I've definitely, in this break, I have gamed a lot more, but more so replaying things that I used to play, like Sly Cooper, which I know I've told you guys about. If I grew up on Sly Cooper, so I love Sly Cooper. I'm about to start playing Final Fantasy 16 again, second time, and maybe play the DLC after that. Other than that, I'm firmly planning the future of like everything for myself. So, it's a lot of boring details, but it's important to me, and that's just pretty much been it. Yeah, it's been a lot, but I do miss the podcast a lot. It has helped, I will say. It has helped to take the break.
He capping, y'all. He was telling me, "Oh, and this break was stupid as fuck, Jay. You're stupid. Why would you even say that? Like, it didn't do nothing for me. See, this is why you don't have bad ideas."
To be clear, what I actually said was when he was forcing me to take the break, he told me that like, "Oh, take the stress out." I'm like, "Listen, the stress of my life. What the heck is that noise?" I'm like hearing something.
From who?
I don't know.
My boy hearing voices, bro.
Are you hearing like rubbing or something?
It sounded like a plane was like outside someone's window. That was so weird. It was like intense.
I don't know. We at war.
I could not even.
Whoa! Don't say that! Don't say that! Don't say that! Whoa!
Oh, my bad.
That's a real thing right there. Like, do you know the state of the world we're in? Don't say things like that.
Oh my gosh.
Man, I know the state of the theaters right now. You know what's in theaters that we've all seen?
Supergirl.
Wow. I feel so bad for little Shuddy.
Wait. Okay.
Millie Alcock, the lady that you are.
What the hell? I feel like my chair is breaking. Anyway, I feel like we should all start with a rating on the count of 3. Just to see how we all individually rate this out of 10. Here's the scores for Supergirl. out of 10. 3, 2, 1. 6.5.
5.5.
Wait, did
Wait,
you
what
say
did you say?
6.5, Broly?
I said 6.5.
I also said
Oh,
6.5.
I said 5.5. Y'all
5.5.
Listen,
already know me.
but listen, that should tell you something, right? Because six, Ganesh is a hard person to please. Let's also put that on the table.
Yeah. When it comes to entertainment, I think there's a certain standard that I like to uphold.
But somehow he thought Joker 2 was great. I don't know. Anyway.
Look.
anyway.
Never forget.
Y'all are gonna mention that every review that I have.
I am. Because what?
Look, all right, Supergirl definitely had its weak points and its high points.
If you guys don't know what Supergirl is about, it is actually one of the something interesting about it is that it's based off a specific comic by Supergirl. It's an adaptation of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which I'm sure Ganesh has. He's about to pull up right now.
Ah, shit! Here he go.
There you go.
There it is.
I will say this compact comic does not do the actual comic service. The original comic is an 8-issue series. I think the artwork is definitely a strong point, but when it comes to Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which was the original title of the movie, I think Supergirl has its pros and cons when comparing it to the comic itself. It's very loosely adapted, which I'm totally fine with.
Yeah.
I have no qualms about any loosely adapted sort of forms of content. But overall, there is a reason that I gave it a 5.5. But I don't know if I want to exactly speak on that quite yet. I'd rather stick to giving a synopsis for now. But Braulio, if you wanted to continue with that synopsis before I had to let these people know that I know ball.
Yeah. So basically, Supergirl at the start of the movie is kind of like your depressed young adult who's just drinking away her problems, and on the side there's this little girl, which I'm not gonna lie, I forgot her name. Ruthie, who gets
with a Y,
who
and an E.
loses her entire family to Krem, who is the villain of this movie.
Some guy named Cream.
Yep, Cream. And
Cream with a K.
She tries to enlist the help of her, but at first, no really interest until Krem kind of finds them, ends up hurting Crypto, and now
doming that dog.
He's the only one who has the antidote, and she has to chase after him, and that's pretty much where the movie begins, and from there on is the story.
So here, alternative synopsis. Take a drunk white girl from Rutgers, New Brunswick, put her in space, give her superpowers, and then do the John Wick plotline. That's the movie. That's the movie. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're like, that's actually crazy. That's actually, I fucking love you for saying that shit. That was awesome. That was fucking fire.
Because that's the movie.
But if you add but worse after that, I'll give it to you. John Wick but worse.
John Wick but worse. Like,
yeah.
And do y'all want to get into the pros and cons now? Because
yeah, should we start with?
We're gonna start with the pros because I know we're gonna shit on it.
Yeah,
we're gonna start with the pros.
Listen, okay. The reason I gave it a 6.5 is because overall, I didn't read the comic first of all, so I'll put it out there. I'm not the type of person who's gonna be like, oh, comic and this. And I know Ganesh, even though he did read the comic, is not. He doesn't mind that part of if it loosely adapts it or not. Looking at it as just a movie, I think that overall I kind of enjoyed it. I will say I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to watch this movie before we did this episode, so I was watching some non-spoiler reviews. So going into it, this time I had some expectations, or at least some reviews in mind, just to see if I felt the same way. You know, people complained about the colors of the movie, which
we sticking to the pros.
Oh yeah, true. People were talking about the story and being underwhelming and stuff. I honestly think the story wasn't so bad. I feel like there's definitely problems and flaws with it, things that I would change, but we'll get into the cons later. But I think in terms of just what we got, I don't think it was horrible. I don't think it was trash. I did have a good time. I didn't necessarily like care, but I was enjoying it. Like I was enjoying the ride, for what it was. And that's why I think I'm like I would have I at first I wanted to give it a 5, but I did find myself a little more on the enjoyment side rather than the like not enjoyment side, so that's why I gave it a 5.
He gave it a pity 6. He gave it a pity point.
Yo.
I'm sorry. I'm being a dickhead. I know. Ganesh, Ganesh, do you want to go next? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I could speak on some of the pros that I found in Supergirl. So, first off, I'd like to say, I think before watching this, I think you should watch Superman. Just because I
for
do
sure.
feel like the sort of vibe that Supergirl does give off, it is a very big contrast to Superman. And right off the bat, if you have seen the movie, David Cornsweet Superman is featured quite heavily, more than expected, in Supergirl. And it's a nice little addition, given that even in the source material, there aren't that many guest appearances from other DC characters. The book itself, it is a well-contained storyline that doesn't feature Superman. It doesn't feature Lobo in the comic. It's got a lot of original characters that are specific to that comic, but for what the movie is, I will give it props for trying to include more characters from that DCU universe. I thought Lobo was a good addition to the movie. There are some things that I'll touch on later about Lobo that I didn't really like, but I think Jason Momoa did a standout performance as Lobo. You could tell that he really did put his all into this performance in terms of his mannerisms, his speech patterns. He even used signature Lobo phrases like fraggin' and bastich. For those of you who do care about the character Lobo, I think Jason Momoa does do that character justice. And speaking of characters that do those characters justice, David Cornsweet Superman, really a top contender for Superman portrayals, in my opinion. I really do feel like his character portrayal of Superman is really up there. Miles better than Henry Cavill's performance, which kind of goes without saying. It might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think that it is anymore.
Yeah, I don't think that it's an unpopular opinion.
But yeah, no, I think Millie Alcock did a great job as Supergirl. I think given the source material.
You just think she's
hot. I think she did no, I honestly think that she did a really good job. I think just given the writing is really the weak point. But I think with what she was given, she was able to really portray the emotions very well. She showed a wild variety of emotions that is kind of a roller coaster ride for Supergirl in this sort of movie. It's definitely not a one-to-one adaptation. Supergirl in the comic is already well established. She's an experienced Supergirl. Even though she is turning 21 in the comic, she's already kind of been through experiences as a superhero. She's saved people before. In the movie, you can tell that Millie Alcock's portrayal of Supergirl is still relatively new. She hasn't really helped out Superman that much in Metropolis. She's still kind of finding her
footing.
Her sort of finding her footing in this universe. And I think for starters, I think Millie Alcock is really the highlight of this movie. She does a great job. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other praises that I have before I start bombing this movie.
I gotta do my praises.
No, I know.
Can I say one more before Jaydon goes?
Go ahead.
I like the okay. I have to say this very specifically. I like the music, not the song choice. Get that. The music. I actually really like the music. Where it guys like really like epic, like very just like emotional sounding. I actually really love the sound.
Or you mean like the original soundtrack?
Yeah, the original soundtrack. I'm not talking about like songs that they chose for the movie.
Okay,
talking about soundtrack. I actually really liked it, and I have stuff to say later. But Jaydon, go ahead with your positives.
Similar to Ganesh, I really do appreciate Millie Alcock's portrayal of Supergirl.
Oh, you just think she's pretty?
First of all, I don't even play in milk like that. Although that's true. Anyway, so but my thing is, I think the different ranges and character progression that she went through throughout the film, you really feel a lot of the things she's feeling as you're watching her. You know what I mean? And given the rest of the film and how it feels, I really appreciate how well she was done. She was done and how well she did as an actress, and how, you know, going through different motions and emotions and feelings, you know, it was portrayed. I think another thing that I like is really like the core thematic themes of pursuing revenge and the corruption of that. Between me and Ganesh, it was a little bit of a debate because, you know, the ending there, spoilers, going into spoilers, you know, as we said, Ruthie, her family was killed by Krem, and you know, Supergirl at every stop is pretty much telling her, "Don't kill that dude. It's gonna fuck you up, please." You know, and ultimately, Ruthie does not kill Krem, but Supergirl herself kills Krem. You know what I mean? Ganesh, well, didn't like that. I personally did. You know, and like again, the concept of revenge corrupting you, and how children grieving great violence that has been enacted on them, and how it could how it can blind them, because again, they're kids. I think it was a good topic to introduce. It was a good topic to talk about. Do I think they did it as well as they could have? Not necessarily, but I think I really did appreciate, you know, that focus in the story. I also really do love Crypto. I'm so sorry. I want me a Crypto, yo. I'm not even playing.
I if there's one con I want to say now is like I wish Crypto was in it more.
Yeah,
yeah.
I do. I really do, because I loved him in Superman, and you know, I was in here like, oh my gosh, Crypto, aha, John Wick. Okay, so yeah,
He always going through it in these movies.
like fuck both of y'all, Krypton. Give me Crypto. Y'all ain't taking care of him.
Nah, for real, I'll take better care of Crypto, bro.
Fuck, y'all got him going through trials and tribulations. Like, yeah, is he gonna run through my living room and break a hole through the wall? Yeah, but like, that's my dog, yeah.
Not for real. I got one more pro before we can start diving into the cons, and if y'all want to add on to any other pros that you might find. But am I tripping when I say that there was some Dune influence in this?
Oh, yes, that was another thing. Yes, I loved that the Kryptonians had their own language, and
yeah,
it sounded like Arabic, and
there were definitely some Arabic influences, and also Superman being the Lisan al-Gaib. The prophecy.
Well, the thing is, Lisan al-Gaib, but the Lisan al-Gaib in their context is conqueror of worlds. So,
well, so the Bene Gesserit, the Kryptonians are the Bene Gesserit, basically planting superstitions on Earth. But that's a whole other thing. That's a whole lot of nerd talk.
Yeah, step out.
Another thing I want to point out: Zor-El, Supergirl's father's performance. I thought for the limited amount of time that he had on screen, I thought he did pretty good when it comes to like the flashback scenes.
Really good at Desperate Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it felt like he was about to die. Like he was giving his all. Yeah. So I could respect his performance. And also just the world building. I think Supergirl did what Superman didn't really have the time to do in the story that Superman was telling. Supergirl, while it did have a plot, you could also tell that this movie was also kind of served a purpose where it was to kind of flesh out the DCU as a whole. There was definitely a lot more world building when it comes to Supergirl rather than Superman. I thought the alien designs were very good. Sort of on par with like Mandalorian, pretty similar with like Star Wars characters. Thought it was nasty how they make kettle corn, but we can talk about that.
Tastes like shit.
But
actually, that line actually made me laugh. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. It was so corny. It was so bad, but it was so good.
So kettle corny. But yeah, no,
that's enough.
that is enough. That is enough praise for Supergirl. I think now we could start start talking about what we didn't necessarily.
This is a personal
favor.
gripe of mine. This is not actually a hint to the movie. She used my catchphrase when I don't like some shit, but I decided to shut the fuck up about it. She said, "Not my monkey, not my circus." Now people gonna hear me say that thinking that I said that because of that movie. No, I was saying that before that movie came out.
I literally looked at you as she said that line.
Yes.
And I was like, yo.
Right. Now, of course, anybody else in the movie theater would have saw that and been like, "Is he calling you a monkey?" No, he's not. Relax. Relax. No.
Never that.
It's just that everybody has heard, like, it's a common thing that I say is like, "Hey, not my monkey, not my circus." And Ganesh said, "Why is she saying okay?" I said, I literally had like a physical reaction. I was like,
literally.
Like,
Can
why are
hear
you
the
saying
slap
like
on the thighs.
But okay, yes. Now let's get into actual serious like cons because
I'm gonna start with like I want to start with
go
a
ahead.
small one. I want to get into the obvious stuff yet for me at least. I want to start with a small one where I could like when it comes to like Supergirl and Superman, I feel like you have to be very creative sense of like what's going to slow these people down because they are very like just all powerful beings like basically in terms of power. And I feel like Superman did a great job with like giving him kind of this emotional like public opinion type story that like emotionally like limited him factors as well as yeah, you're gonna have the kryptonite moments. I feel like to me it was a little one of the small gripes I had with the movie was that there was like, a little too much of like the like it would just be like just kryptonite. When you need her to slow down, kryptonite, boom. Like green sun, boom. Like oh yeah, now he has kryptonite arrows that he made, boom, down for a little bit, just enough time for other people to get their shine. Like I kind of really felt that like in that, and the reason it's a small gripe is because like I feel like it's kind of hard, especially like in a story like that. Like I feel like you have to get around it in very creative ways, and so I don't really blame them for you because it is something that's like built into the lore of just like kryptonite. So
Yeah.
can't really blame them too much for using it. But I feel like with like when it, especially at the end, like with the green sun, and then like right after she gets out of that, kryptonite arrows on top. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's my first very small one.
I on the flip side of that, it creates a big issue for me. The big issue being plot saving the fuck out of her every time she's really in some real danger. That shit pissed me off. Clean the fuck off. Like outside of the kryptonite arrow that you mentioned and Lobo saving her, which that one I would call legitimate. Because again, Lobo was free from his cell. We didn't see where he went after that. Him randomly popping up. Okay, we can work with that.
Yeah.
When it was the space pirates on the bus, and she needed to get the yellow sun, she put on the spacesuit. They said, "Nah, fuck that shit. Go out with no helmet." And she was at the mercy of the yellow sun climbing over the horizon.
Yeah, yo,
And it's just
you know what? That just reminded me of something like Nancy had told me that like I was like, yeah, like it was like when have they seen like the green sun as they're flying into like the atmosphere of this planet?
yes,
Like how did like as soon as she steps out of this ship
Well,
is when it just comes up.
I mean, she did have the bag over her head. And I mean, the X-ray vision only allows her to see so much. So I mean, just playing devil's advocate.
like yeah, you can't see necessarily color, but I feel like you can see certain radiation. I don't know. That's just something that also bothers me is like contrary to me liking how her character was portrayed, this woman was incredibly dumb most of the movie. I'm sorry, like way more dumb than even it made sense. Don't get me wrong, right? I understand she's like half drunk and all of that throughout the movie or whatever. But like this is also a woman that grew up on Krypton Light because it wasn't like Krypton, it was Krypton Light, which means that you got Krypton education. They probably taught you how to fight a little bit. You know what I mean? And which means they probably taught her how to fight Krypton way, which means no superpowers, right? So why is it in the fight scenes we're fighting the same way regardless of what sun planet we're on? If we're on a red sun planet, fight a little bit smarter. Now, when she's drunk and she's just having it out, she's like, "Oh, I can feel that. That hurts." That's fine. That's cute. That's cute in the first time. But the rest of the movie, when it's happening, I'm kind of like annoyed because I'm like, "Shorty, they can kill you. Like you're a normal person right now. They can kill you. Please lock in." You know what I mean? And it was kind of irritating me. And then, Yellow Sun, oh my god, I'm Supergirl now. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Okay, I guess. But it just kind of irritated me that there was no adaptability in her fighting. And I think that diminishes her intelligence, which I know she's not actually that dumb. You know what I mean?
I think I want to jump off that a little bit. I don't know if you have something to say to it, but
Not really. I feel like when it comes to Supergirl's kind of fighting style, I mean, she is more of a brawler than Superman, which I feel like they could have done a better job, for sure, when it comes to showing her powers. But I do feel like they did kind of meddle with, Red Sun, Green Sun, uh, Yellow Sun, just kind of like her power levels and how they affect her differently. Uh, I think my main gripe with it was just the tone overall of the movie, but I'll save that for later.
I feel like I want to like jumping off of Jaden's point, like also Nancy also one of her opinions also really stuck out to me because like she loves her cat, right? She was like, if that happened to Binks, which is her cat, the way nothing would stop me, like. And I'm like, you know what? I did feel that in the movie. Like, I feel like she took her sweet ass time, bro. Like, if it, like you could, they're trying to present how Crypto is like her last connection to her home, and like I feel like if she was really like this different, like they're really pushing for her to be completely different than Superman. Like she has her moments where she'll just be like, yeah, fuck this, boom. But then other moments where she's just chilling, like drinking a thing or like just relaxing. And I'm like,
actually,
well, I mean,
to your point about that, like that first Yellow Sun fight when she was fighting in the bar, bitch, you doing that for fun? You not whooping ass the way you need to be whooping ass. This is John Wick.
She said, "Keep playing the music like it's the Titanic. Like your dog's gonna die in 3 days."
Yeah,
like you can't be fucking around and then like 2 hours later crying because your dog's gonna die. Like pick one and have some urgency or don't have it. I don't give a fuck, but pick one.
I feel like and I feel like that also goes to Ganesh's point of the tone, which I think we can get into. Honestly, I think it was very inconsistent. It was very inconsistent. Like
totally, there were a lot of different things. Like the pacing overall. There was the soundtrack. Yeah, whatever you want to dive into first, we can bounce off of that.
I'm starting to feel like a James Gunn vibe is like they're taking that James Gunn vibe as like, oh, this is the key to success. I was getting a lot of those. Where I have problems in this movie is where they kind of just had that James Gunn vibe of like, let's joke around, have these little jokes and have these little fun fights.
It felt like they tried making Supergirl Star-Lord.
Yeah, and like you know what, like, and it goes into more things that I don't want to talk about right now. Just wherever I felt like they like kind of try to put that James Gunn flavor in it, is where this movie had a problem. Because when it came to the series stuff, that's when I was truly into it. When it truly like focused on like the flashbacks on like her, like how Crypto is important to her. A little bit of like Ruthie's story because I'll get into Ruthie later, but like trying to delve like I agree with Jaden where like I appreciate the theme they were trying to introduce when it comes to revenge. So like I feel like it was just kind of like bogged down by like this other tone. Like I feel like they gotta kind of like they need to shy away from that. They need to actually let these stories be. I felt like that was a like huge con for me.
So question, but before I ask the question, I want to say that side plot. I think it would have been better if we had two girls hell bent on revenge in different ways, but then Supergirl's trying to tell her like, no, you can't be consumed by revenge, but she's just also as consumed by revenge and addressing the hypocrisy in that. I think that would have made for a better dynamic between the two.
And I feel like based on her story, like I felt like her just being like, no, like don't do this. It's going to change you. Like I felt like there was like
They delivered it like a cop out.
Yeah, because like when it shows her flashbacks and what she's going through, it doesn't show like that where she understands that, you know? I feel it's more like an outside thing of just like, oh, I know that this is the right thing to do, so don't do that.
You know what would have made it connect? If she had more flashbacks connecting to Superman and his morals and values. Not to make it about Superman, because honestly, I think one of the things I also enjoy about it, despite the fact that Superman's there, he's not the focus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he doesn't
like steal the scene.
Superman's in the movie, but he's not Superman in the movie. He's her cousin in the movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and that's something that I appreciate. But I think if we have more of a cousin to cousin and her kind of like taking those values, but then not really giving a fuck until she has to apply it to that girl, that would have been a better delivery too. But for your comment about like the James Gunnification, you know, in the film, my question to you is, did you like Lobo in the film?
I did. And I feel like the thing with Lobo for me,
I think that's contrary. That's what I'm saying. Like
the thing with Lobo for me is that I agree with Ganesh in that I like his character. Like I like how Jason Momoa portrays that character. I think him and himself gave a very like funny vibe, cool vibe. I feel
was it necessary?
I don't think it was
necessary at all.
Exactly. So like I feel like it was a good thing in a sense, but I don't feel like it fit this story that they were trying to tell. You know, like
it doesn't help either.
I'm not trying to say like James Gunnification of things is bad, because you know we've seen it actually be successful in many other projects, and sometimes it does take down other projects too. You know, like, and I feel like this was a case where you didn't need that.
Yeah, and I will say like, it doesn't help that Lobo also kind of had his own side story that was going on. So like
that didn't really fucking matter.
We started off with Ruthie and her kind of like story of her family dying as a result of Krem, which is kind of based on the source material. But then you also add Supergirl's mix of her kind of growing into who she is as a character. That's fine. But then they add on Lobo's character. And Lobo's fine. I think Lobo could serve as a great cameo sort of character when it comes to these movies. Like, if he's featured in some more DC projects, like, if I see him in DC Lanterns, I think that wouldn't be too far out of place for him, because
I think that would be great for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a space show, and he is an intergalactic being. But as far as featuring him in a movie where you're already having to give so much context as to this whole universe and what you're trying to get across to the audience, I don't think that Lobo required a plot, because in the movie he's being a bounty hunter, which is in character for him, but they try to kind of like give him a plot and describe the person that he's trying to go and hunt, because he is one of the brigands, one of the people that Krem is kind of along with. But overall, that's not what really the audience is going to remember from the movie.
Yeah, I feel like
he's after this guy who's like half involved, barely has any lines, and we're supposed to give a fuck that Lobo's chasing him. I don't
even feel like we're supposed to give a fuck. I feel like they were just trying to give him a reason to be in the movie, and the reason just wasn't good.
Yeah, it was
and
poor.
That's the case for a lot of the movie in general. Like, I feel like it definitely loses me by the third act, because a lot of the emotion that is trying to drive out of me, it's not that convincing because of how they're handling the tone. First off, with Supergirl, kind of, yeah, Crypto's dying, but she doesn't have that sense of urgency. And another thing that adds on to that tone is the soundtrack. This movie had 3 different composers throughout the making of it, and they finally settled on one composer. And in the initial process of them hiring the composers and figuring out the sound for the soundtrack, it started off great. It had sort of that intergalactic vibe. It was less James Gunny, which right off the bat I can't appreciate. I do like James Gunn's soundtracks. Like Superman was phenomenal with its soundtrack, but that's because they handled the tone perfect in that movie. For example, Mr. Terrific's fight. Yes, it was a needle drop, but that needle drop matched the tone of what Mr. Terrific was. It wasn't the climax of the movie. When it
Yeah.
comes to Supergirl,
Oh my
why are we
gosh,
having them
dude.
play not only Jimmy Eats World's The Middle, but an acoustic version, slowing
Yeah.
down the pace way
Yo.
down?
Can I say something, bro? Up until that point, like the music, I actually really praised
Up until that point.
Sorry, up until that point, I really praised the soundtrack, like the original soundtrack, because if despite these problems that I had, that music, like music is so powerful, like especially to me, where like it could still put me back in, and it did. When it was the climax started, with the green sun, and afterwards, it was really catching me. Like when she got her powers back and she was on her way, like it started grabbing me again, you know? And it got me into that moment where I was like, okay, this is really good. And then like, so when that shit played, dude, like I literally cringed. I cringed. The whole scene was ruined to me. I'm not gonna lie.
I looked at Jaden.
Yeah,
I
we looked at each other
cringed.
because like again, the James Gunnification and it being half-hearted and hollow, that was like the clearest moment of James Gunnification. We were kind of like I'm down for her saving Ruthie at every turn. That was cool. You want to make a slow motion? That was cool too.
My thing is,
This doesn't have that vibe. This movie in general does not have the vibe that fits that.
Yeah, and you know
the
what?
thing is, they also heavily featured Blondie's "Call Me" in the trailers and the promo material for the movie. That has sort of like a heavy rock sort of sound. That's more fitting for the climax.
It's like
of the
it's
movie.
more punch, and not for nothing, it's more punchy. And the thing is, she comes off as a more punchy character.
Especially at that point because she's like fighting back.
Yo,
Yeah, you know.
it was so cringy, bro. It was just like I laughed. I think the scene was actually fine. And if they had kept the soundtrack, they were like if they had like no needle drop, if they put no needle drop and just kept the same soundtrack, that scene
Or
would have
just
been
have
so
a
much
sweeping
better.
score.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You if you made like an original Supergirl theme
Yeah.
for the movie and had it play
Which
there,
they did. They did, but they didn't feature it in the movie enough.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
So
just
you know,
that really like it's more than just a song choice. Which, by the way, I saw in one of the non-spoiler reviews that they went through 45 different songs for that scene before landing on that one.
so
Which
you
is
went through 45. You went through
insanity.
45 songs and landed on donkey shit. How?
That's what they settled on.
How?
Like that's
Was it
insane to
45
me.
songs of donkey shit too? Like I don't understand. Like
And like
What was the alternatives?
it just it's more than just a
Yeah,
song
Sexy
choice.
Red.
It literally for me
I feel like Sexy Red would have been better.
no, it would not. It would like
why not? Ow, bow, bow, bow.
it was more than just a song choice. I feel like it ruined the whole entire scene. And like I also do want to say like with the whole Ruthie thing, like I think her character again, I appreciate the thematic, the themes they were trying to portray in this movie, and I also understand that she is part of the comic that this is on. But I feel like Ruthie was a like I feel like they did her character dirty. Like the only time I actually felt like Ruthie could have had potential was when she was locked up, and she actually like choked out that guy. That was
That's
the only
the only
time.
time
Yeah,
that she showed combat.
yeah. Like she would like the amount of times I've seen this girl slow mo pull out her sword, only just to
And
get
do
like
nothing.
nothing, just to get like just like her shit rocked. Like
I think I don't agree with you on that actually. I don't. I think the child not being adept at fighting is not that big of an issue. I think moreover the fact that they're trying to make her seem like she's smart and her doing that, like here's the thing, if you have her pulling out her sword and then she's mindlessly trying to swing at you without any type of sense, I think that would have made more sense for, again, this blinding rage thing that they're trying to sell us about her. They're trying to get her to temper it in herself. You know what I mean? I think it's really the approach to it. I don't think her not being able to fight and being useless in a fight was necessarily the wrong choice.
I feel like it's not about being useless in a fight. I think to me it's more so about like her performance.
Don't put yourself.
Her performance
in these
and the writing didn't give blinding rage.
And that's what I was saying. Yeah.
So like
it should have gave.
That's why
rage.
I wanted to see her just like do something. You know what I mean? Because like if you're really like, there's plenty of scenes out there of blinding rage where like it's reckless, like it causes them to be just making terrible choices. But I feel like she wasn't doing that. Like I felt like it was more so she was just there and helpless. You know, and she can be helpless. Like she doesn't know how to fight. He is a child, but like, I don't know. It's just with that when she's just kind of calm and just being there, like, yes, I am from this family. You know, whoever's can help me will get this sword that my father made, and then like,
you know how she should have felt like. I'll tell you exactly how it should have been delivered. Think Vegeta going on about Prince of Saiyans, Prince of Saiyans, Prince of Saiyans, Prince of Saiyans, and then her getting done like Krillin.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking of. You know what I mean? It's like, I want my family.
Yeah, like,
because she's a kid.
Yeah.
And Krem is a beast, apparently.
Oh my god, yes. Sorry, I want to put that in the positives. Bro, one-handed that tank. I was like, wait. Oh, wait. I audibly said, wait a minute. I didn't know he was that strong.
Krem in this movie is not at all like Krem in the comic.
He's not threatening.
First off, yeah, no. I mean, in the comic, first he looks nothing like Krem in the comics. In the comics, he just looks like a regular human being, honestly. And
with piercings or no piercings?
No piercings. He's got like a ginger beard, long hair, just like.
So you mean he looks like the guy that Lobo was actually after?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And his reasoning for killing Ruthie's parents is because they didn't laugh at one of his jokes.
Oh my gosh.
And also, he's not a sex trafficker in the comic.
Yeah, no, he was. So, I think
it's going to sound crazy. Hear me. I don't dislike the inclusion of the sex trafficking. I just think they didn't have it with the gravity that it needed to be had because sex trafficking is fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Agree.
I feel like
I think
if this was like than what they did, it would just become the main. You know, like I don't know, like in my experience watching the movie personally, like when just the amount we got with that subplot was like, oh yeah, this guy's a piece of shit. Like I literally like it was effective for me personally, like enough. Like
I don't think it was,
just to know that it was there and that he just like, well, you know what? Like he made this deal with the parents that took Supergirl and Ruthie in. And then like they try to poison her and they still killed them all. Like he still just killed them all anyway. Like I feel like it was effective for me. I feel like any more than that would just make it a way different movie than what they were trying to do. Unless I feel like they would have to rework it. Like I feel like Ruthie would have to be involved in that more.
Ultimately, the truth about this movie is yes, they had a lot to rework.
Yeah.
If this movie was more grounded, like we were saying, then them taking that plot point more seriously would not been a problem. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, obviously, you can't overdo it and show them, raping people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But like showing and rounding out their predatory nature of that group in all facets, I think would have been more effective at selling them as scary, selling them as a threat, and then Krem being the apex of that. You could have sold that better too. You know what I mean? Now again, Krem's not scary. And as you said, Ganesh, Krem is deeply unserious even in the source material, because what do you mean you're killing the whole family because they didn't laugh at your jokes? He's just deeply unserious. So, I don't think, yeah, you know what I mean?
I feel like if they wanted to make the brigands more impactful, they could have just replaced the space pirates with more of the brigands.
Oh my god,
Like-
yes.
Yeah.
The Spice Pirates didn't need to be there either.
They didn't. And another thing, Ruthie does kill Krem in the comic. So basically,
Oh, we
in the
debating
source material,
debating live?
well, I mean, so I'll just explain what happens in the source material. So the entire book is told through Ruthie's perspective. Ruthie is very heavily featured in the comic, and she's throughout all of the different issues. And by the end of the issues, it actually does a time jump to when she's an old lady. And the fate of Krem is unknown up until that point. Supergirl ends up showing up to Ruthie's doorstep as she is an old lady. She shows Ruthie Krem, and Krem has been trapped in the Phantom Zone for centuries and has gotten the opportunity to grow from his previous lifetimes, and he shows remorse for his actions. And Supergirl ultimately leaves the fate of Krem up to Ruthie at her old age. It's completely open-ended up until whatever Ruthie decides to do with Krem. Krem begins to show remorse to Ruthie, pleading for forgiveness, begging, saying that he's sorry and that he repents. Ruthie kills him, as I believe anybody would. I think
That's metal as
based
fuck.
based on how they handled it in the movie, they couldn't do that adaptation in the movie, because then they would have to do a serious time jump, and I'm not entirely sure how they would work that in. But based on how they did end up killing Krem, I think Ruthie should have had that, because that could have been a moment of growth for Ruthie. That could have been her growing into her own character and showing how she moves on past that.
So the thing is, like I said, I gave you that caveat when we talked about it, where it's like, if they did that, but then showed that Supergirl was wrong and that she wasn't corrupted by that, you know what I mean? And they somehow could meaningfully show that, then yes, I agree. But ultimately, I'm not against not having the child kill the killer. You know what I mean? And I like the dimensions that it adds to Supergirl in the fact that she is the one that kills him, because she's Supergirl, yes. She's Clark's cousin, yes, but she ain't Girl in Blue Girl Scout. Like, she's still her own person, and I like the dimensions that it adds to that. But the thing about it is that it was delivered poorly, because I have good values, but I'm not afraid to do the dark shit isn't sold well in the movie.
I feel
You know
like
what I mean?
I feel like her killing Krem to me made her a hypocrite. Like, it just, you talk about a value and then you literally turn around the same second and break that value that you're trying to teach someone else. It doesn't make you a good teacher. Like,
And
a good teacher.
let's not forget Lobo in the back. Lobo in the back being like, "Oh yeah."
He's like, "Oh
You
yeah,
know?
he's like, oh,
Like-
I'll do that." I don't agree with that though. I don't think that you necessarily have to be absolved of the thing you're trying to teach somebody not to be a part of. There's plenty of stories where people who are deeply rageful when angry or whatever are trying to temper. We love God of War, don't we? You know what I mean?
But
Now,
doesn't mean I agree with him.
hold on. Because I understand using that as an example is like, well, he's past it at that point. But my point is, you can be a thing and still advocate for people being against it. I don't think that that's necessarily hypocritical. I just don't think it was delivered well, because the thing about it is, her pushing it makes her seem like she is of the other side of it. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was delivered well, because if you show her more darker tendencies, her giving into her rage and everything like that, by having that sense of urgency that Nancy was talking about, again, if she had that sense of urgency and she was interrogating somebody in them backwater alley or whatever, and she broke somebody's arm and threatened to throw them to the moon, then her killing Krem would be a little bit more based. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not saying that it's not based. Like, I'm I'm saying that like if they portrayed like they could have portrayed it much better of her being rageful about crypto alongside Ruthie who's rageful because of her family. And like it could have been an opportunity for both of them to learn this, you know what I mean? Whereas like the whole movie, she supposedly feels this way. Like she supposedly just like is angry and wants to save crypto and is pissed off at Krem just kind of telling Ruthie the whole time not to do something, even though we don't see anything where like she learns that value. And then at the end, it's not only that she like never learned it, she shows in her actions that she just doesn't believe that actually. You know what I mean? It kind of tells me like, oh, you're just doing it because she's a kid. You know what I mean? Not so much because you believe like
Well,
which I guess is fine. Like it didn't piss me off. Like it didn't piss me off that she killed Krem, but I think it just the message that I was seeing that it was trying to tackle. Bless you. I feel like the messages it was trying to tackle, it's not giving a solution to that. Like where you're supposed to be like, I thought the theme was like, don't get like revenge is not good. You know what I mean? But they're not showing that. It didn't resolve that way.
Here's the thing, right? And here's my thing in how she killed Krem. I didn't necessarily see ragefulness, like ragefulness. You know what I mean? I saw it in a sense of like, yes, this is for my dog. This is for killing that girl's family. Yes, she did literally say that, but the delivery of her doing that wasn't. You know what I mean? It was more like on principle, right? Now,
yeah, that was how Lobo was.
Now, what I think, right, and this is again talking about delivery, talking about how to work it in the story that makes it make sense, is if she teaches Ruthie not to do it, she's the one that kills it, but she acknowledges that she does not stand where Ruthie should be standing, where she's advocating for, and she goes home to Clark to learn how to be better. Does that make sense?
And I guess, but like we had a scene like that, like where like after she failed to save that family and the girl who was kidnapped, they literally had an argument where Ruthie was like called her the fuck out. She's like, why am I gonna fucking listen to you if you're literally just out there just drinking your life away? You know, like and like her doing it at the end, it's kind of the same shit to me. Like it's kind of the same thing because
I don't agree on.
Because there's nothing about her going home is actually like telling me like what her going back to Earth tells me is that she's just like accepting that it's her home, not accepting that she needs to change her mentality.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's what it should have been, because I think that would have been more meaningful. Because I think her just going home was just her going home, and I didn't really care for.
And so as
you know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Like as it is, like as it stands, it doesn't give me anything of what you're. Like
that's what I'm saying. We agree on that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, like, well, yeah.
No, I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying.
Wait, so what's the debate that you guys have?
I don't know.
because he said and Ruthie should have killed her, and he kind of wasn't budging on that initially.
Oh, you think Ruthie should have killed Krem?
I think Ruthie should have been given the choice. All right, this is how I think it should have played out. I think Supergirl should have whooped him, had him at Supergirl's mercy. Supergirl gives Ruthie the sword and says, I leave it up to you. I've given you my advice, but I don't want to take away your choice. He has affected you more than he has affected me. Whatever you choose to do, this is on your conscience. If you choose to live with it, feel free to do so. But just realize that whatever happens from this point on, I can't help you. From that point, Ruthie makes her own decision. I think she should be given the choice to kill Krem or not. I don't think Supergirl should have taken that choice away from her.
See how you saying different words than you said to me when we walked out that movie theater?
Okay, people can change their mind.
I like what you just said too. You know what I mean? I think.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was like, if they had a sincere conversation about it prior, and then did that, I think that also works too.
I think it would work. I think it would also need some rework within the movie too. If I'm being honest, because like
For sure.
I like the line that you said, where it's like, "Listen, I'm not gonna interfere with your choices." However, like throughout the entire movie, she like interferes with her choices the entire time,
No,
and there's
but
no conversation about that. I mean, like that's
yeah,
what I'm
that
saying.
was
It
the
needs
issue.
it needs a little rework on that, but I would see that as more effective. You know, like I said, like my problem with the whole thing with Ruthie is just like there was just nothing. There was not too much there. You know what I mean? She wasn't given a chance to feel. You know what I mean? I feel like she, whether it's the performance or the writing, where she could really
Or just how
display.
long the movie is.
You know, we get that like even the way we are introduced to her, like we get like I forgot if it started way off the bat with this, or like it was a little bit of the Supergirl and then it just cuts to this scene. I'm pretty sure it was the second thing, the latter, where like it starts with Supergirl and then it just cuts to the scene of her family and then goes back to Supergirl. I feel like that was just like placed in there. I was like, oh yeah, okay, like let's give this context real quick so we could like get to the movie. You know,
Bruh, we didn't even talk about the brother, bruh.
Yo,
yo, yo,
I've never been
yo,
so mad before
yo.
in my life because my thing is like it's not like he just saw her and then decided to scare her. No, he saw her, looked at her face for more than a few seconds, and then still decided to do that. Like you could see the look of terror on her face.
Because he blasting Young Booty
Yo,
in his headphones. He don't know what's going on in
Me
the
and
house.
Nancy freaking laughed out loud because we literally, it
I
was literally
laughed
just like,
too.
it
I
was
laughed
literally like,
too.
bah, boom, like, it's all
Like, how am I
died.
supposed to feel? The tone is so shifting.
Like that was so like again. It seems like the situation is about to resolve itself. Less than 5 minutes later, the house is on fire. Everybody's dead.
Yeah,
How
like,
am I not supposed to find it funny? Boom, axe in the back. Mom's mad now. Ah, dead. Dad. Ah, house
Like,
is
you
on
got
fire.
that, and then you got Jimmy Eat World playing in the climax. Like, they definitely could have reworked this movie. They needed to take more time in post.
They need to take more time and plan it. Again, like not for nothing, they popped this out. Superman was last year. You could have
yeah.
pushed this out 2 or 3 more years and really give it some more thought.
2 or 3 more years. Look, this ain't the Batman.
I mean, listen, I
First of
think,
all, people are still waiting for the Batman.
yeah.
I'm one of
And
them.
people critically acclaimed Superman. Everybody was on Superman's dig last year. I didn't forget. Everybody was all on that shit. Y'all would have waited them 2 to 3 years. Don't fucking cap. We
Yeah.
would have waited them 2 to 3 years.
I mean, I think that goes to show, like, so far with the DCU, like, I feel like I'm starting to question what's the plan here. Because, like, you had the very first, like, knockout. Like, Superman was a knockout. Very great. And I feel like there was a lot of passion in that project. Like, Peacemaker, I didn't watch Peacemaker, so I'm not going to say much on it. But from what I've heard, like, from what I heard about, like, the ending and how it got cut off, I think the retrospective opinion will have to, like, take over when if Peacemaker comes back in another project. And then we got this movie, you know? And I think I'm starting not to see what the direction is here. Because I feel like I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I feel like Superman had a very like specific direction. And I feel like outside of Superman, like we're starting to lose that. Like we don't even know what the hell's going on with Batman. Like you know, like no, there's no projects like with like the main people. We got Lanterns. We don't know how that's gonna be. It looks pretty good from the second trailer that came out. The first trailer was like worrisome. The second
Yeah.
trailer made it look better. So we have to see.
It's still a little worrisome, but there's definitely more context there in the second trailer.
Yeah, Clayface. Clayface, I think would just be an
Oof.
interesting project in itself.
I'm excited
But-
for Clayface.
Like, I don't think all things need to connect. Like in like actually like in a big story MCU way, but I think there just needs to be some sort of plan where like what is going on? Like what is the direction of this universe? Is it supposed to be like some side stories and a big event, or is it just gonna be these stories? It's just gonna be whenever you feel like it. What's going on?
I think it's still pretty early on to determine what the big picture is, because looking at the MCU, we had Iron Man, and then we had Thor, which are like two drastically different movies, and then Captain America. So it might look like it's all kind of like out of place, out of sync right now, but I think it's just we just gotta let it cook.
I'm more than willing to let it cook. But I am starting to question a little bit.
What you mean?
Because I like the other thing is with when it came to the MCU Phase 1, there was no expectations. There was nothing of the sort. I think people are just kind of waiting for James Gunn to announce these like bigger projects. Like Batman has been in this loop for a long time now. We know nothing. These other like there's people who want like another Flash movie or another Wonder Woman movie. Maybe Martian Manhunter. I don't know.
We need a Wonder Woman movie, bro.
So there's just a lot of questions.
Get Gal Gadot out of there. Get Gal Gadot out of there.
So I personally, I want to let them cook, and I'm going to let them cook. I just want to see what they got. Like, I'm excited for Superman, Man of Tomorrow.
And Supergirl's gonna be in Superman, Man of Tomorrow too. So
I'm calling you Mr. Let 'em cook now.
Who?
You're Mr. Let 'em cook now.
Yeah, you gotta let them cook. MCU, you gotta let them cook. Doomsday and Secret Wars will tell me, or Doomsday specifically will tell me. Brand New Day, I think it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to it. Is there any other thoughts that you guys have for Supergirl? That
I guess we can get into our final ratings if there's nothing else to say or add on to Supergirl.
I think I'm gonna go down to a 6.
Yeah.
Because I still think I had an enjoyable time. I think the way I rate things is like also how I feel when I'm in the movie. I personally I was still enjoying it. I just think aside from the needle drop scene, nothing took me out to that degree other than that scene. The other things I was just kind of thinking about, and I was just like, okay, well, this is kind of a critique. This is kind of like, okay, but that scene really like bumped it down some points because it just like I feel like it was already having like kind of like a midway like kind of like fairly good time, and then it just like face planted at the end. But yeah, I think a 6 would be a good score.
Honestly, I realized based off of what you just said, I might have been giving it a gratuity.
That's all right. Keep it going.
I might have been giving it a gratuity point or something like that because, I don't want to completely shit on it. But, if we're talking about how I felt in the movie theater, Ganesh, you were right there with me. Ganesh can tell you I was irritated most of the movie.
Mans did this at least 3 times.
At least 3 different times. Because, again, I think the real thing that took me out was, it just, certain things, the things that didn't work just felt corny as fuck to me.
Yeah.
The things that didn't work just felt corny as fuck to me, and I just couldn't get over it. You know what I mean?
That's coming from the guy who will forgive a lot of corny stuff.
I know. That's the thing.
That's crazy, yeah.
Like I forgive a lot of corny shit most of the time, but it's just you know what it is? I forgive corny shit when it's delivered to me well.
Yep.
It's corny shit that wasn't delivered to me well. You know what I mean? So for that, I'm taking away my gratuity point. I'm giving it a 5.
I think you guys didn't like the, taste like shit.
Did I give it a 5?
Like shit.
Did I give it a 6?
You gave it a 6.5.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, 5.5. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6 because I'm gonna give it that 0.5 more than you just because of that one joke of tastes like shit. I don't know. It was so stupid.
Funny.
It was so stupid. It was so stupid. I know it was so fucking dumb, but I still laughed.
You know what Joe got to me though?
Yeah.
You know what Joe got to me?
What?
Not gonna happen.
What was that?
Oh, y'all don't remember that?
No.
One of the aliens was trying to get at her, and she was like, "Not gonna happen."
Oh, yes.
And was that Seth Rogen on the
No,
bus? I also
I, I
the
don't
the,
know.
bus
the,
dri-
the little
the
the little
bus
guy.
drivers, the bus driver. That was my favorite.
Yeah,
He
I
was
like that guy.
hilarious for
I
me.
like that guy too. I forgot the shit that he
But
said, but I laughed.
oh yeah, I don't have any balls either, or something like that.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, nah, I'm gonna stick with my 5.5. Uh, Once again, the highlights of the movie, I really do think that it did a better job at getting us to know the universe as a whole. Um, I thought it was very poorly put together when it comes to trying to balance out the different storylines. It kind of had that Spider-Man 3 kind of effect where it bit off more than it could chew with everything that it was trying to get across. But I can respect it for
Spider-Man
trying.
3, like Toby Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, like
Not good.
just too much going on.
Yeah,
Just
no,
going too much
nah, yeah,
going on in
you're
the
right. You're right.
movie.
You're right. You're right.
But
He's
of
right.
course, you know me.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna give Spider-Man 3 a higher rating.
Yeah, cause I had this memory of us like glazing Spider-Man 3 back like in the beginning.
Always glaze Spider-Man 3, bruh. Felicia Hardy. But yeah, nah. I'm gonna keep it at a 5.5. Yeah. Just if you want to know why I'm keeping it a 5.5, just rewind the episode and play it back for yourself.
You know, watch it
specifically
twice.
specifically the part where I said he just thinks Millie Alcock is hot. Yeah, he she get like they already got like 3 points off of that.
But yeah,
I know how his
that's
brain works, y'all.
Ain't
no,
no
you don't.
fucking way.
So that was our review of Supergirl. In theaters now.
Check it out or don't.
DCU sponsor us.
Actually, wait. Oh, something I say about all movies: whether or not it's worth paying your money to go see or not.
Oh, we could do that in our
Oh
structure
yeah.
too.
Also,
No,
there's no post-credit scene. Just thought that should be known too. There's no post-credit scene, so
I don't care about that. But it's not worth your money. I'm sorry.
yeah, you could wait until it's on streaming on HBO Max.
You can. It won't kill you. I
Yeah.
promise.
It's definitely a give, like take it or leave it. I mean, like it's a give
Take
or
your
take.
money. Go
Yeah,
see the opening to Bleach. Bleach Core
it's a
4.
give or take for me. I mean, I feel like if there's no other movie that you feel like watching, you don't know what to watch. You're like, yeah, let's watch this.
There's Obsession. There's Backrooms. There's Bleach.
Oh, don't talk about Backrooms, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's Obsession. There's Bleach. What else? There's a
Did
lot
we
of
ever
things that you
did we
can
ever
watch.
talk about Backrooms?
Nope.
And Ganesh said we're not going to. He said
I
he may
mean, we
make it a
could,
quick.
but I'm just gonna rant. But we ain't got the time for that. Right now, we got the time for our recommendations, though.
I recommend the Backrooms. No kidding, no I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
That would have been wild as hell.
Yo, I don't know if y'all could see me on my camera. I am dying in this heat.
Me too. Me too.
I thought you were just glistening.
No,
Now that makes
do you
sense.
see me too? Like I'm literally
I can't.
with no AC.
Mario, I can't see you at all, bro. Like because of how I have the screen, I can't see you at all.
Yo, so he's just been staring at me this whole time.
Yeah, he just
Pretty
hates,
much.
He just hates me. I get it. I get it. It's cool.
Hello?
Nah,
I want to
but
stare at you too, Buki. I'm sorry. Discord's holding me.
my
But
recommendation.
recommendations, yep.
Actually, someone else go first.
You got that, Jaydon.
Anyone else got
All right. Since we're on the topic of DC and the DCU, they did announce very recently that they will be adapting what I've been praising and glazing since it launched in late 2024. Absolute Batman, written by Scott Snyder, art by Nick Dragotta. Good lord, this is some of the best stuff that's been put out in comics in years, folks. Comparatively to Ultimate Spider-Man, I think Absolute Batman is the best comic that has been pushed out in the 2020s at the very least. It differs a lot from the mainline Batman in a lot of different ways. In this universe, Batman is not a billionaire playboy philanthropist. He's actually more of a blue-collar worker. Both of his parents did not die in Crime Alley. Actually, just his dad died at a zoo. And his mother is still alive and she's actually up and running for being the mayor of Gotham with Detective Jim Gordon alongside dating his mom. And Alfred is not a butler. Alfred is actually a mercenary that has been given a contract in Gotham to hunt down the Batman. And the Joker itself, good lord, I am very much looking forward to how they depict the Joker. What was that?
You said it? The Joker, it? Pronoun it?
Yes. It, basically. Joker is basically Pennywise. He's like,
oh!
It's a very interesting take on the Joker.
Have you not seen a picture?
We've gotten so much of the Joker in, DC. A lot of people are burnt out by the Joker, but I feel like with this new depiction of that character, I think it could definitely be something exciting to see, especially in animation. And honestly, if you guys want to hear more about the Absolute universe, Absolute Wonder Woman does make an appearance in Absolute Batman comics, so I think it would be interesting if we did see an Absolute Wonder Woman in the show as well. And if you guys want to hear us further down the line, we could even do probably some of our picks for who we might want to voice act for some of these characters, because I know there's a lot of different voice actors out there. It could be an interesting topic for a future video, but let us know in the comments if you'd like to hear more about that. But yeah, no, Absolute Batman, it's got both of the creators headlining it, so I have full faith that this is going to be pretty much on par with similar shows like The Batman that came out in 2004, Batman Beyond. I really do have a lot of hope for Absolute Batman. And they also announced they're adapting the Batman Nightfall storyline, the one where Bane pretty much breaks Batman's back. So again. So that's another interesting storyline that
canon
they're
event
adapting.
At this point.
It is a canon event, basically. But yeah, no, that's what's been happening with the DCU news, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I recommend looking at the Absolute Batman comics. One in particular, I guess, they did launch the Batman annual one last year, where Batman takes on the Klan in Gotham.
Hell yeah!
I just love looking at comic book heroes taking on the Klan. If you know my past recommendation,
I was like, there's two things I love: them fucking up some Nazis, them fucking up the Klan.
So yeah, that's my recommendation.
Yeah.
Keeping it DC, I'm gonna recommend Superman. 2025. If you watch Supergirl, you might want to watch that movie.
And cleanse your palate.
Cleanse your palate.
I'm sorry.
It's it makes me want to watch that movie and just enjoy myself again. I am excited for Superman Man of Tomorrow. If you do want a second recommendation out of me that's not DC, I'm going to say Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated series.
There we go. I was like,
my opinions on
so
season
far?
2. You'll see it. It might not it's just not as good as the animated. I would never say that. Does it deserve the ultra hate that it's getting? Not all of it, but most of it.
I was going to say most of it.
But not all of it.
They character assassinated my boy, and I don't appreciate that.
Which one?
My boy, the bald one.
Oh, all right. But yeah, that's my recommendation.
This is my recommendation right here. Just do this. Everybody do it. You gotta turn too. You gotta turn.
Yeah, what the hell you got us doing?
I'm playing. Okay, my fault. My actual recommendation is Free Rent Beyond Journey's End. I know some people, the people in the anime community, you've already watched it. You're like, this nigga living under a rock. Yes, I am. I'm so sorry. I love this show down bad. It's about an elven mage woman who was a part of the original Heroes Party that killed the Demon King, and she's essentially retracing her steps one way or another, and really connecting to humanity and the sentimentality of life and stuff. And I don't know, it just made me really sentimental about life, and I've cried a couple of times watching this thing because it was just beautiful to me. So yeah, that's my recommendation.
Solid.
Well, with that said, expect more of us. I think is our break over?
Something like that.
Find out
that's
next week. Find out next week if our break's over. But look forward to it.
If you enjoyed the content, let us know in the comments. If
Please
you didn't enjoy the content, let us know in the comments.
Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you.
We love y'all.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.